Run sitter crime scene.
A black ground car. Looks like it's been around the block a few times. Give me a hard copy of that.
Run sitter crime scene.
A sushi menu from Howie Lee's. Give me a hard copy of that.
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete.
I've gotten all I can from that.
Your floor number, please.
Apartments.
McCoy, 88F.
88. Thank you.
I lived with the best gal I'd ever seen. She was 2 now and full of life and love. She cost me about a year's salary, but she was worth it. It was good to have someone warm nearby after completing a dirty job, and the retirement swag from this case would go toward getting her a partner. Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Maggie, come here, girl. Zubin was the first Nexus 6 I'd come up against. There was something in his eyes, an almost primordial desire to live. Most of the 3s, 4s, and 5s I'd seen would just give up when you had them. But these 6s, they were a whole other breed.
I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath. My wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told my wrath. My wrath did grow.
Crank calls were a dime a dozen in this city, and I'd had my share. Still, this guy sounded more like an English teacher than the average scumbag. If I'd been more awake, the message might have spooked me. Erase and reset. Portrait of the sleep-deprived.
Got your delivery here, man.
What?
Kingston Kitchen.
Oh, yes, right. Hold on.
Is this what the gravity be like on Mars?
Oh, no. It's about a third of what we got here on Terra. Real comfy. How about turning that dial, okay? When I say... Oh!
Please, can you control your rat?
I'll have you know that Ricky's a purebred Chihuahua, and he's totally real.
Things going good at Tyrell Corporation?
Boring, boring. Old man Tyrell's been on a Wagner kick lately. He never shuts up.
You also do outside work?
Sweetie, I never go outside. It's bad for the glands.
How about Nexus 6? You know a lot about them?
I think you should be going now.
Understand good, it holds deep meaning for me now. Where be your research on Nexus 6? I need test studies, contacts, the works.
Only simulator. Extra terrestrial gravity.
One more minute, you be swallowing this explosive. 3 more minutes, they be hosing you off the True Life building across town.
No, I swear. I don't have anything. If I did, I'd give it to you.
My people sick and dying. You tell me something.
Talk to Dr. Tyrell.
Tell me something I don't know.
The organ designers. Miraji, Hannibal Chu, Luther and Lance. They're closer to him than I am.
Where?
DNA Row. They're all working down on DNA Row. No.
You one miserable package man.
No! No, please, don't!
Pick up.
Hope you aren't camped out there with a bottle of tequila.
Oh, very funny.
Early bird slays the worm, McCoy.
Don't worry, I'm up, Lieutenant. What's the buzz?
One of Tyrell's employees got his fat face splattered all over the marble interior of the Tyrell building.
Inside?
That's right. But we also got a sweet little break on it. Tyrell's surveillance system recorded the whole shebang.
Beautiful. How many perps?
Just one. I don't know if it's related to the Runciter deal or not. Tyrell security will have the disc for you when you get there. You'll be good, killer.
Here you go, baby. Dinner time.
Your floor number, please.
McCoy, LPD.
Just a minute.
Where do I go?
Grav test on the east wing, 66th floor. Here's the footage from the security cameras. You get a pretty good look at the man's face.
How'd he get past you guys?
He pretended to be a delivery man. Dr. Eisenduller ordered in a lot, so it didn't seem unusual.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.
One more thing.
I've told you everything I know, Detective. I gotta work. These monitors don't watch themselves.
Yeah, it's a tough gig. One more thing.
I've told you I gotta...
Yeah. The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Anemoid Row. It was a Tyrell sales brochure for the Nexus series, the kind of glossy hype that ends up littering the floor at trade shows. This one was for last year's infamous Lolita model, a big hit with the all-important dirty old man market. Jesus.
I seen worse, but not by much.
Learn anything?
You could strain him through a sieve.
A takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? Obviously, he'd been killed with an explosive, and not just because he'd been plastered on the wall with 1,000 strokes. The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story, but I wondered why the killer didn't just shoot him. Someone had tried to access a bunch of protected files on the Tyrell network and failed, not just once, but a dozen times. Tyrell engineers might forget their passwords, but what would the GravLab boys need with replicant DNA sequences and incept dates?
Lagging behind again?
Gouza didn't say anything about me working with a partner.
Oh, in a pig's ass, Slim. No, I'm following up on my own. Could be it's linked to this Tyrell debacle.
You take a look at this crime scene?
Yeah, it's a real doozy, Slim. Worse than watching Gouza eat. Make sure you skip a meal before you go up.
Ông đó đang nhìn mấy giờ tôi phải tới đó, đồ ăn ở đó rất là ngon.
You friendly with Eisenduller?
Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus, Dr. Eisenduller, he almost never left his lab.
He afraid of somebody?
I think it had something to do with the air outside and the germs. I once heard him complain about it.
Smart. What was his job?
Grav test chief engineer. The lab runs tests to see how a replicant would perform in different planetary gravitational fields. That kind of thing. One of the other engineers could tell you more.
You know if anyone lost an earring like this one lately?
Not one of the employees, that's for sure. The boss enforces a strict dress code around here.
How did Eisendoller's moo-moo fit in?
Yeah, you know, company rules only apply to the lesser mortals.
Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sông đó đang nhìn mình.
You know anything about Tyrell's computer system?
Security is tight as a drum, if that's what you're asking.
Somebody tried to access restricted data from the terminal in Dr. Eisendoller's office.
But they couldn't get in.
Yeah. Looks like Dr. Tyrell keeps his files safer than he keeps his employees. How do I get in to see the big boss?
You don't, unless he wants to see you.
Okay. How do I make him want to see me?
Well, you could call his personal assistant.
Who is?
Don't know offhand.
Yeah, I get the picture. I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.
Tôi rất mong á, anh ra nàng nhanh. Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ?
During his last election campaign, Governor Kulvig promised a bold new plan of action to clean up the worst regions of the highly toxic debris that surrounds our city, the so-called Kipple. Just how much progress has been made since then? We spoke to the governor just before his weekly meeting with the city council.
Our studies have shown that the Kipple's effect upon Los Angeles is minor. The radiation and toxic waste is contained in relatively small pockets, all miles distant from the city center. Nevertheless, cleaning things up out there is a worthwhile goal, especially with the thousands of specials living on the city fringes. For now, all I can say is that we're looking at several options, and I'm sure everyone will be pleasantly surprised by our final proposal.
Uploading personal clue. Download. Clue database transfer complete. Scanning video disk. One enhanceable image found. Adding enhanceable photographs to Kaya database. Tyrell Grav Test Lab.
The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Animoid Row. Give me a hard copy of that. A bomb. Give me a hard copy of that. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? Give me a hard copy of that. A takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. Give me a hard copy of that.
This is Crystal Steel, badge number BR61354. Still working the explosion at the Tyrell manufacturing plant. It'll take a day or so to analyze the debris, but there's no doubt in my mind that we're dealing with a bomber here. Right now, it looks like the protesters had nothing to do with it. They were in too close proximity to have been in on the deal. No MOs or identities are rolling up just yet, and I'm still going through the inset files to see if any replicant munitions experts are unaccounted for. This is Crystal Steel, badge number BR61354, conducting the interrogation of Spencer Gregorian, leader of CARS, Citizens Against Replicant Slavery, November 22nd, 2019.
I once again asked that my attorney...
Shut it, shitbird. I'm asking the questions. We've already put you on the machine, so we know you're not a skin job.
That term offends me.
Okay, so you're not one of those biomechanical scumbags, and you claim to not know anything about the bombing at Tyrell.
This is true. We advocate equal rights under the law for replicants. We have nothing against Tyrell Corporation for creating them.
That's some sick logic.
The replicants are living organisms, whether people like you like it or not. Replicants contribute greatly to the economic well-being of our culture. They cannot be discounted as such.
Hell, it'd be no skin off my nose if each and every one of them was hosed down for good. You ever see this guy?
Why, yes. Actually, I have. He was present at the protest. He's not part of our group, but outsiders are usually welcome.
How many new faces showed up that day?
Not too many. A handful at most.
Describe them to me.
I don't know if I can.
Oh no? Recording off. Describe them for me again.
There was that Rastafarian fellow, and one of our ex-members showed up.
Who's that?
A Japanese man named Izo.
Why'd you get rid of him?
We're a pacifist organization, and we have rules. One of them is no weapons allowed. Izo refused to check in a samurai sword at the door during meetings.
Where can I find this Izo?
He owns one of those little secondhand stores downtown.
Let me ask you a question. Who the hell bankrolls your operation?
Well, we have a number of anonymous donors, people with resources and sources.
Such as?
So anonymous, even I don't know who they are.
I almost believe you.
You're Spencer Gregorian, right?
No. I really think my lawyer should be here.
I got some more questions for you. Tell me about your protest at Tyrell's plant.
I already told that other detective everything. Under duress.
I want to know about the people who were there. The Rastafarian and the Asian guy with the sunglasses.
I didn't know the Rastafarian. The Asian fellow was one of our ex-members. Izo was his name.
How long did you know him for?
Let's see. I met him about 5 years ago. He seemed so smart and balanced. He really wanted to help the replicant people.
Then what?
He started associating with the more militant factions. I was astounded when I heard he was supplying weapons to some of them.
What kind of weapons?
Guns so new that even the police had hardly used them, I heard.
I got some more questions for you. Lot of people involved in your cause, Spencer?
Yes, sir, we're growing fast. As more and more people realize that replicants have cognitive and emotional legitimacy, the Citizens Against Replicant Slavery will spearhead the movement towards...
Save the pitch for someone who gives a shit.
We're peaceful people, Detective. We live by a code that men like you could never understand.
Try me.
2 centuries ago, humans were held in slavery. Brave souls formed an underground railroad.
So, you help replicants escape the city.
I'm talking figuratively, Detective.
Sure you are.
We're not children, Detective. We have resources. The world is changing. People are waking up to the injustices perpetrated by a sick society that you have helped...
A lot of them will wake up dead if reps are allowed to run amok on Terra, jerk. You keeping busy, pal?
Please leave me alone. My migraine's acting up.
Well, if it ain't Ray McCoy. Bryant finally letting you play with the big boys.
My clearance come through?
You bet. You bring your piece?
Don't leave home without it.
Steele's been running the maze every other day for 2 weeks, and the targets are getting a little roughed up.
I thought Gouza was gonna requisition some new ones.
I ain't seen him down here in a month. Guess he's been busy.
Poor guy. I bet he gets all tuckered out from pushing those papers around.
And don't sell him short, McCoy. Gouza could be one tough hombre. I remember when we worked Vice together. He poured acetone on 2 pimps that gave us some lip and lit a match. I'll tell you, it looked like the goddamn 4th of July out there.
Peachy. You keeping busy, pal?
Nah, the place has been pretty quiet the last couple of days.
We get a new weapons shipment?
Yeah, Gouza requisitioned a couple of cases for the assault teams.
Let me guess. He's planning on taking out a small city.
Lieutenant's a big believer in overkill.
I've gotten all I can from that. That weapons shipment just came in. You got the paperwork handy?
Why? You got a pressing need to rummage through my private files?
Yeah, I forgot you were keeping your lacy underthings in there. Look, Jack, I just want to see what they're charging for a crate of rifles these days.
Too damn much if you ask me, especially at the rate the assault teams are losing them. I guess there ain't no harm in it.
You know who deals in insects down here?
You don't want insects? They're no good companion. But fish. Fish are good. I have every kind of fish for you. Blowfish, dorado, miniature sailfish. Very friendly.
No, thanks. I got a dog at home.
Fish just as good as dog.
No, my dog is real.
Real? Oh, you must make lots of money.
Let's get back to insects. Official LPD business.
Down at end of Animal Row, you see big green sign? You try there. Good luck with dog, friend. Hope he stays healthy.
She. Hey, you.
Might I interest you in a snake, noble one?
Not today, thanks. You know anything about insects?
I regret that I do not, noble one. save that I feed them to my snakes.
You do what?
Artificial ones, of course. The safeguards in the design of my snakes would not allow them to swallow a real insect.
I assume that this insect is already extinct.
They all died after the war, yes.
So the fakes must be pretty expensive.
If bought in bulk, the price is acceptable. They do not need to eat them, of course, but the added realism is worth every penny. Have you ever seen such craftsmanship?
Right now I'm more interested in the insect.
Perhaps you should ask the Peruvian woman next door. She's an expert on such things and will cut a wonderful deal to friends.
I need to ask you...
Certainly the LPD must have better things to do than to question a humble merchant over and over again about the same things. Why aren't you out arresting criminals like that disreputable Bob fellow?
Bob?
He owns the armament shop up the street. He's insane, number one, insane. He takes peculiar pleasure in agitating all the vendors around here. I cannot even go out for a Cisco without worrying whether Bob is going to sabotage my snakes.
Thanks for your time.
Careful, senor. You're poison.
Scorpions?
See? Finest quality. Perhaps you purchased one?
I don't think so. They're beautiful, though. Never seen one before.
Oh, that'd be true, senor.
This your work?
Ah, the dragon.
Dragon?
See? Anosoptera. Dragonfly late of the American South Swampland.
You sell jewelry with dragonflies?
Item like that, very special significance. Very rare, senor. State item, and most likely part of large collection. Person must have plenty money to obtain a collection.
More than I can afford.
You try Hawker's Circle. Might want to trade for this. With luck, you may find.
If this is from a collection, I'm also looking for the other pieces.
I make you a deal. I found out where to get dragonfly jewelry. Then you buy a piece, right? For special lady friend? You come back later.
I'll do that.
You take care, chasing the dragon. Handsome man like you has lady friend, of course.
All my girl cares about is food and love.
Oh, how romantic. What is this girl's name?
Maggie.
Maggie. Ah, Maggie, senor. It's perfect, is it not?
It's kind of ugly, but you tuck me into it. You hear anything yet about that dragonfly jewelry, like what I showed you before?
No, senor. My friend, he's asking for me. If you come back later, maybe I know something more.
Step up, step up. Mama Isabella cook you something special. Put a glow in your cheek.
McCoy, LPD. Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Questions? They always need answers.
This guy work for you?
No, but I wish he do. He be one fine-looking man.
You sure? Never seen him before.
I'd remembered him for sure.
You send a lot of deliveries over to Marcus Eisendaler at the Tyrell building?
Eisendaler. Oh, Eisendaler, yeah. Let me tell you, that man can't eat.
Send anything over lately?
No, sir. No deliveries to him no more. Not since last month. He be way behind on his bill.
Not for a month, eh?
At least. No more till him pay up.
You may have a little trouble collecting. He's dead. That stew's looking tasty.
Fix you right up. Only 30 chinion. It put a spring in your step, man. The ladies, they be loving you.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for your time.
That a 45 blaster under your coat, or you just happy to be here?
You got good eyes.
They ought to be. They're the only organs of mine that survived the Phobos Wars intact.
Ray McCoy, Rep Detect.
Blade Runner, huh? How come I never heard of you?
I just got assigned.
Yeah, I'm kind of buddies with Davey Holden. How's he doing?
Word is he's gonna be okay.
That skin job must have been pretty damn quick getting by Davey like that. He's the best in the business.
He'll be back on the job soon. I hear you've been waving guns around on Anemoid Row.
Who's been telling you that crap? That lying Egyptian snake oil salesman?
Hassan?
That's the one. I should have popped him when I had the chance. You want to know what really happened? I wanted to get my daughter a present for her birthday, right? I bought an iguana from that crook Hassan. And the damn thing ran out of juice just 2 days after I plucked down a shitload of Chinyan. Son of a bitch wouldn't give me a refund. So I threatened to burn down his shop.
Sometimes you just gotta be philosophical about these things.
That's exactly what my wife says. I heard of you.
Is that right?
You ain't done much.
I just got assigned.
Guys like you get hurt real easy.
Meaning what, exactly?
It ain't like you're a real Blade Runner. Not like Steel or Gaff.
They get hurt sometimes, too. It's a dangerous business. You sell any off-world stuff? Like Ender rifles?
Nah, I ain't seen anything like that in years. Wish I had one, though. The Endo was a real workhorse. Good stopping power, decent rate of fire. You looking? Gonna cost you a bundle, I'm afraid.
Not really. Somebody shot up Runsiter's shop with one.
Sucker had it coming. I'm sure of that.
Why's that?
Runsiter's always putting on those airs like he's better than everybody else. But he'll do anything for a buck. Sell anything to anybody. That's where I draw the line. If it's suspicious, it's out of here. Got no place at Bullet Bob's.
You know anyone who might sell Ender rifles?
There's one other guy around here who dips into that stuff. Got a pawn shop down the street. Goes by the name of Ezo. But who knows what the real title is.
Ezo, huh? Sounds like you don't like him.
Ezo's okay. He's run the green pawn for a while. We're friendly competitors, I guess. But I don't appreciate his politics.
Yeah?
Rumors, that's all they are. I was out there, Ray. I did my time. 3.5 years worth. And I can tell you, Rep's got no business being down here on Earth, okay?
Yeah. Earth don't deserve them.
Tell me about it. We got standards to uphold down here.
You got any decent ammo for my piece?
You mean the good stuff? 'Cause I know them police-issue spitballs just don't cut it.
Not these days.
Yeah, I know how it is. If you want to drop a skin job, you need a little extra oomph. I got a few clips around here somewhere. If you got the Chinyan for it.
Okay, let's have it. How'd you feel about taking a little test?
You mean the Voight Kampf? You come into my shop and you want to VK me?
Relax, I just...
It's funny. You thinking I'm a rep. Set up the test. We'll see what's what around here.
Reaction time is a factor in this, so please pay attention. Where do you live?
Downtown, 4th sector. Hey, this is great. Should I be sitting any special way?
Just relax. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a large black spider crawling up the wall.
Where? They're worth a mint, even with only half their legs.
It's just hypothetical.
Hypo what?
There's no spider.
Well, why did you say so then?
A teacher calls you stupid in front of the rest of the class.
Yeah, I remember that. Bitch.
A man dressed in rags approaches you on the street and asks for money.
I tell him to get a job. Ain't he heard there's a labor shortage around here?
You return from work to find that your home has been burglarized.
The son of a bitch who robs me is dead. Kablam! No fooling around.
And after, you feel...
good. Real good.
What's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you?
I don't know. I busted up a guy's face once. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks. I meant to kill him, so that was kind of embarrassing.
You're 7 years old. You managed to steal several marshmallows from the kitchen and sneak them back to your bedroom. You're caught, and your father spanks you.
Good for him.
You rent a mountain cabin. On the walls, someone has hung old maps and Currier and Ives prints.
I'm not much for art.
A deer's head is mounted above the fireplace. A full stag with developed horns.
I'd burn it. Burn the whole damn place to the ground.
What do you think it's like to be a replicant?
Scary.
Really?
Hey, if every right-thinking citizen was out to waste my ass, yeah, I'd be scared.
You've been kidnapped. Your captors tell you that you'd better think about what you did to deserve this.
No, they'd better think about what they did to deserve it. Because they'll slip, and I'll be ready.
Test terminated.
So that's it?
Yeah?
Since you didn't shoot me, I must have registered okay.
Yeah, it was touch and go there for a while.
Well, you know, I think about skin jobs all the time. Try to get into their heads. Maybe that's what the deal is.
Thanks for your time.